Toby, I got me a regular Ben-Hur down here doing 95 minimum. Oh, dear me. I'm terribly sorry. The Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, one of the most recognisable cars to ever come out of America. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? Oh, hang on a second, viewers. I think I need to. Get rid of some of this outfit. So just bear with me a moment.
Here we are with anchors tying us to what we'll call home, even if the sight of it has not yet touched our eyes. But here we are and we're together, even if we are apart. And we're together when we're together, something big is happening among us. It's not as if we don't have to deal with our shortcomings. It's not as if
welcome to another episode of Tweed Jacket Reviews. Because it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas everybody. We're doing something a little bit different. I have now got changed and got out of that ridiculous uniform that doesn't actually match this particular car, but it's a bit of fun. And we're back with the old attire that most people would be wearing if they were out for a little country drive. As you can see, this car is left-hand drive, and it's in a very, very kind of narrow situation here. I don't know why we're on this particular kind of road, but we are. There we are. So this is a 2006 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. It's owned by my new mysterious benefactor, who has another one of these cars as well. We might have seen on the JM on Cars channel. In the car as well today is Mr. Richardson from the Furious Driving channel. So yes, we know that he owns a 2002 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor because he's here with me.
Hello.
Hello, sir. So the Ford Crown Victoria is just an icon of American culture. It was first introduced in 1991 for the 1992 model year. This is a second generation car. They were introduced in 97 for the 98 model year. And this being a 2006 car is various changes from the 2002 car that Mr. Richardson owned. We've got electronic throttle, we've got a different steering wheel. We've actually got, in terms of the chassis, different steering and a different rear suspension and things like that. It's quite extraordinary, really. The 2003 was a sort of big model year for all the changes, and apparently these do drive in a different way. One thing I would say is that despite the fact we've got police interceptor suspension, the suspension is not what you'd call sporty. It is not at all. In fact, with my moderate driving style, I've been told I have to go slower. So there we go. 0 to 60 of this car is about 8 seconds. This has a 250 horsepower engine. Earlier cars, we started from about 210, rising to 215, 239 and things like that, depending on what specification you've got and what model year. These cars were made for an extraordinarily long time. The chassis was first introduced to these in 1978 for the 79 model year on the Ford LTT Grand Victoria. So a very, very long life for the Panther platform indeed. You could also get things like the Mercury Grand Marquis, the Lincoln Town Car, and the Mercury Marauder. They're all very similar to this as well. The Marauder sounds particularly interesting, much faster version of one of these. You wonder why the police didn't use a sort of Marauder specification car when they were wanting to catch criminals, but there we go. So we've actually got a slightly different specification to what this car originally had. We've got a different grille, for example, on this. Because this car has the street appearance package, which involves things like side rubbing strips on the front wings and little chrome strip on the back, which is unusual. It was originally used for many, many years until 2022 by the police department in Brevard, North Carolina. And actually, this car is in really, really good condition. So some of the decals are a bit faded, but it's part of the car's history, so they've been left as they are. One of the things you do have to watch on these cars, and Mr. Richardson knows this all too well, is the body-on-frame construction, which can hide some corrosion. If you want to see what that's like, just look at his videos on the Furious Driving channel. So we're driving this around these sort of narrow country lanes in Essex, where we almost didn't get through with that Golf, is just about as far away as you could imagine from the typical American police film. And it's just a sort of wonderful thing to be in. It's not the sharpest, not the fastest. I'm actually surprised that it doesn't feel that fast, even to me. And I'm quite a moderate driver in comparison with Mr. Martin, who drives sports cars. I drive slow old cars, and yeah, it's coping okay. The only thing is, this thing's a really, really wide car. It's about as wide as the Rolls-Royce Silver Spur that I drove yesterday, and you can really feel, particularly because of a left-hand drive. I keep having to look over there and just judge the sort of the width of what we are, particularly as we've got cameras on this for doing some of the other shots. But yes, I am enjoying it. The rack and pinion steering was introduced for the 2003 model year that's in this car, as opposed to the steering box in the older cars. It means actually it handles all right. It's okay. You just don't fling it into corners too much, and you're going to be fine. We've got the push bar in front of here, so if you want to do pit manoeuvres, then you can, although I don't think we're doing any of those, because impersonating a police officer is an extremely serious offence in this country, so we must not have the lights or sirens on, and we must not practice pit manoeuvres on the A120. One thing that we've been made aware of, driving around today, is the Ford Crown Victoria's voracious appetite for jungle juice. We're actually going to have to stop at some point and put some in. You can put E10 in this, that's fine, if you want to, I don't know, save a bit of money, but you might get 25 miles per gallon on a very, very, very good day. Most of the time, if you're sitting around idling, you're not going to get that, of course, when you're having a coffee and donuts and keeping watch out for sort of miscreants. I've just been speaking to my new mysterious benefactor, and he tells me that the Mercury Marauder had 300 horsepower. That's just interesting. Someone's just stopped by the side of the road because they probably don't think that we can actually fit through, which of course we can, but maybe he's not expecting me to be driving this. I didn't expect me to be driving this, but I am, and I'm enjoying myself, particularly as I have two hardcore Crown Victoria police interceptor enthusiasts in the car, and they seem to be grinning from ear to ear. What I can't believe is that I've heard, because these cars were discontinued in about 2012, that there are apparently some that are unregistered, unused, awaiting to be put into service. Obviously, some police departments still do use these, although a lot of them have changed to other things like the Ford Explorers and things like that. But I can see why they would hold on to these. You know, big 4.6 V8 engine, rear-wheel drive, body and frame construction. This is nothing like this on the market today at all. Some of our viewers, we didn't actually die on our test drive. We didn't get pulled over for having the lights flashing. So let's have a look at the Ford Crown Victoria's more practical side and take a look in the boot. bodyintheboot@gmail.com is the address if you would like to contact Mr. Richardson and get him to film your car on his channel. I can say, for having been a body in the boot, that the Ford Crown Victoria has a very, very large trunk. Because this car's got the street appearance package, you see we've got this bit of chrome here. There are some other differences on the side and also on the front of the car. The car really is quite large, but the interior accommodation isn't actually that generous for some reason. I don't quite know why that was, but if you're prioritising carrying bodies in the boot, then that might be what it is. Anyway, let's take a seat in the back and see what it would be like for someone who got on the wrong side of the law in Brevard, North Carolina. You could get a long wheelbase Crown Victoria, but this is a standard one, and actually for a car of this size, it is a little bit cramped in here. Yes, we've got bones in here as well, but I think he's been left in here for too long. We've also got this nightstick here in case he decides to make too much noise. So bizarrely, we've got this vinyl back seat, and you can understand why you want that. All kinds of people who've been drunk on nights out and things like that in the back of here, so something easy to clean. But the front seats are actually cloth. You can fit 3 people in here easily. We've also got this bar here as well, which is for handcuffs apparently, but you don't really want to hit that when this car suddenly brakes, so you might knock yourself out, so you'd be a bit careful about that. Yeah, very simple, no centre armrest, not much in the way of luxury. You've got electric rear windows, and that's really about it. These really weren't designed to be luxury cars. One of the things about having a car that's bought directly from service is we've got all kinds of interesting archaeology with this car in this folder here. We have a Brevard Police Junior Officer sticker because this car was used for community police work. We've got an accident form pad. We've got plenty of those. Fortunately, not too many have been filled in. We've got a thing from the Transylvania Regional Hospital, which is interesting. And also, this is most fascinating to me, this is a sheet of where all the police officers in Brevard, North Carolina, would be stationed at any point during a day. We've got, for example, Brevard PD3, 11:20 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Riders turn off at Wilson left onto Old Hendersonville, then finish at OB. Century 99.6, Metric 63.8, and Century 52.8, whatever that means. So there you go. Bit of archaeology there. We've also got this this radio here. This is actually not a real radio we use in America. It's a CB one. Then the most simple interior I've ever seen on a big car like this. The trunk release is in the middle here. On some Crown Victoria it's on the door, but this one has it in the middle. And then we've got the most basic stereo I've ever seen in a car from the 2000s. We don't even have a cassette deck. We just have AM and FM, and that's it. We've got absolutely nothing else. The steering wheel, this is the steering wheel that came in 2005. This car didn't actually originally have cruise control. This has been retrofitted to this car. It's just plastic. There's nothing really fancy about it. Got the old-fashioned column selector here. You don't need to press that button in. You just move it down like that. That's actually for turning on and off the overdrive. And just flick it up like that. It takes a bit of getting used to, but you know, all the American police films I've ever seen, the cars all use these column-mounted shifters. And then not a lot else in here. We've got these cup holders that are a bit wider than the earlier Crown Victorias. They don't feel the best quality though necessarily. And then very, very simple heating ventilation controls. The dashboard is just this kind of vinyl textured stuff. It's not very fancy at all. And then in the centre we have this huge panel for controlling things like the lights, which we're only using when we're on private land, so we're using the lights. We cannot use the sirens, so we won't be using that. And when we go out for a drive, we're turning these big lights off, of course. We've got various things you can put in here. You can store things just down there. For example, this Eddie Bauer ice scraper, which fascinating, isn't it? If you had more kind of radio panels and things in here, you could put more equipment in there, but it's quite big. But then the car's only got 2 seats. There's not a bench seat in here by this stage, so that's fine. Controls are very, very simple indeed in terms of the instruments. There's not really a lot to say. This is a later car, so it has a rev counter in it. Light switch is on here, and then the wiper and indicator stalk, rather like the new Ford Puma, is just on here. There's no automatic lights or wipers. Seat's very plain as well. Door panel is a bit more luxurious than I was expecting because this car didn't have cruise control originally, but it had electric seats. So we've got them here, no heated seats. I don't think you really need those in North Carolina most of the time. The electric mirror switch for some reason is not like the European Fords at all. It's all very much bespoke to America. The only control that I can see which is in common with the European Fords is the little switch for doing the lumbar support on the side of the seat, which is exactly the same as an electric window switch on a Mark IV Fiesta. One thing that you would have seen in the review that James Martin did of another Crown Victoria is this little counter here, the idle counter, and apparently this car has done 1,556 hours of idling. So I'm going to use these mission documents today because they are the car anyway, so we'll see if we can get these in here. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do this, viewers. No. Well, that's disappointing, isn't it?
We will not be disappointed when we get out of
see I've got my fake police outfit back on again, viewers. So what do I think of the Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor? Well, I'm with two gentlemen today who own police interceptors, and they seem to be quite fond of them. I must admit, I have quite enjoyed myself. It's not something we normally do on the channel, but you know, if you want one of these, you really want one, and you know, perhaps this car might be up for sale soon. I don't know. Anyway, oh, dear me, just got to make a quick call. Sorry. What are you? Some kind of doomsday machine, boy? Thank you for watching this episode of Tweed Jacket Reviews. Please don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you wish for me to source a car for you, there is a link to my website in the description below.